Hello, welcome to the Belk on Business podcast. This is Josh Belk, and I appreciate you joining the show today, and I hope to provide value to you on this episode. If you do get value out of this episode, please do me a huge favor and make sure to subscribe to this podcast. And if you're on Apple Podcast, leave me a 5-star review. Thanks again for listening, and enjoy the show. Hello, hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Josh Belk. This is the Belk on Business podcast, and today we're going to talk about growing yourself and your business. One thing I think in this last month for myself personally is as I've kind of gone through, went to a couple places, traveled and had some conversations, and even in a local mastermind group. There's been a lot more dialogue as far as kind of this spillover between what goes on personally and what goes on in our business. And sometimes you hear people say that it's not personal, it's just business. I've used that line before myself, and sometimes we have to remove the emotion sometimes in business. But in reality, we understand that there's a great deal of overlap as it relates to business and personal. Both for myself, I have my wife is a business owner as well, so kind of naturally we bring business home with us, and we're dealing with business issues quite frequently. So business will affect our marriage. Business does affect my child rearing. Business does affect pretty much every aspect of my life, and the same thing. On the personal end, if things aren't right at home, it can affect my business performance. So we understand there's a great deal of overlap. So today I'm going to talk a little bit as far as growing ourselves individually, both in business and personally. So I think maybe one thing we can do is set aside 1 hour a day per week in which we think about our future and the future of ourselves, both personally and business. I think we should have goals. We should have goals in business. We have goals personally. But set aside 1 hour a week where we really sit down and kind of look through this is where we're at, and this is kind of where we need to go. So just kind of time block that. Most of the time, that probably should be done alone, especially when we're trying to go through and we're trying to process. But also maybe from time to time to have a phone call, have a conversation with maybe a mentor or an advisor. For it may be somebody in a local meetup group that you connect with that you can look to kind of discuss these matters. For myself, being in a couple of different masterminds, there's a number of individuals that I can look to, that I can pick up the phone, I can call, I can schedule maybe a weekly call or a monthly call with them, in which we can really truly discuss the future of the business, and we can discuss what's going on personally. Secondly, have an accountability call regularly. I think this is extremely important. For myself, I have people in my life that I encourage them to text me or call me on occasion and ask me particular questions. And many times this is kind of sticking their finger in my face personally. How are you doing spiritually? How is your marriage? How are you doing as a father? I think those are important, to have those people around you that will hold you accountable. But also the same thing is true in business. Just this week, we in one of the masterminds I'm in, we had our quarterly call, and it's an accountability call. And so we kind of go on there, and the gentleman that heads up the mastermind call will go through and said, hey, here's some things you said you were going to do this quarter. How are you doing? And then collectively, there's some other people on the call that will provide some feedback, maybe some areas that we're struggling in. But that's an accountability call. So have those people in your life that you regularly reach out to, that reach out to you to hold you accountable both personally and in business. Third, attend a meeting or conference monthly that motivates you to improve some aspect of your life and business. I think it's important spiritually that we're maybe involved in a local assembly somewhere to where we're going at least once a week and sitting down and hearing some sort of a message, some sort of encouragement spiritually. I think that's important. I think it's important that on a monthly level that we are on some sort of a call. We are in some sort of a group. We are someplace to where we're going through and we're getting our lid pushed up. Where people are going to look to us not only to hold us accountable, but someplace that we can learn. Sometimes it may be going to a conference or a meeting locally to where you're just going to sit and listen, and to be able to learn, to be able to pick up on something that can help you in your life and in business. And then lastly, number 4 here, invest in improving existing skills and developing new skills. And so all of us have certain areas in business and in life we need to improve. I think it's important that we're always in a book, that we're always learning. Personally, maybe if my marriage is struggling, I'm in a marriage book. Maybe marriage is doing great, but I just need to maybe learn new aspects or bring new things into the marriage that maybe can help me love my wife a little bit better. Same thing with my children, to be a better father, to love my children and lead my children more effectively. But the same thing is true in business. I need to be putting myself in rooms, be in books, listening, constantly be learning, so I can become a better leader in my business. I can be able to go cultivate my employees and my clients in a better way. So invest in improving existing skills and developing new skills. I can't underestimate, I've mentioned this a few times just in these last few minutes, the value of a mastermind. To get yourself in there to where you can get yourself in a place where you can be learning, you can be held accountable, you can find mentors, you can find advisors to help move you forward. So just very simple ideas, things you can do practically starting today in your own personal life and in your business. Setting aside 1 hour a week to think about these things, have an accountability call regularly, attending a meeting periodically, even weekly, to where you can get into a place to where you can work on yourself personally, spiritually, emotionally, and also in your business. Attending a meeting or conference regularly, at least monthly, and getting into groups quarterly at least, to where you can learn, and then investing in improving your existing skills and also developing new skills. So just a few ideas here on growing yourself and your business. Hope this brought you some value. This is Josh Belk with the Belk on Business Podcast. Have a wonderful day.